Hey everybody, Aaron here from the Cool Guys Nation, and welcome to a new video series. We are going to be talking about Pathfinder, rules, characters, metagaming, all sorts of stuff. I'm here with my DM and friend, Daniel, and we have prepared some stuff to talk to you about today. So what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about multiple attacks.
Awesome. So we play games once a week, and last week you and I had a bit of a disagreement on how many attacks I got.
Yes.
I was a little upset because I didn't think I got all the attacks I should have gotten or was planning on getting. And you were kind enough to explain to me the proper way to play. So yes. I figured that'd be a good start because it is actually a bit confusing. And when you go to the online resources versus the book, there's a lot of information in different areas. And even though I spent hours and hours reading, I managed to miss the most important part of the rule.
Right under multiple attacks.
Under multiple attacks, okay. But there was plenty of Google searching, okay? It wasn't...
Yeah, certainly.
All right, so how does multiple attacks work?
So the main thing to note with multiple attacks is that anytime that you get extra attacks for any reason, unless an exception is explicitly stated, it is going to require a full round action. What that means is the normal approach to a round, which is a standard action and a move action, will not suffice to get those multiple attacks.
So if you have a character and you move anything more than 5 feet to get into combat, you are no longer capable of taking a full round action.
That is correct.
What about swift and free actions?
You can still take swift actions, you can take free actions.
Okay.
As normal. 1 swift action per round. Unlimited free actions up to the DM's discretion.
So a typical scenario would be your character moves into combat with an enemy. Mm-hmm. In that first combat, you take 1 attack. And the next round, because you're already in combat, you take a full round attack with however many attacks you get.
Right.
Including multiple base attacks.
Yes. So that's the most common way to get multiple attacks is with a high base attack bonus. If your base attack bonus is 6 or more, you're going to start getting extra attacks. So you get 2 attacks at 6, you get 3 attacks at 11, and so forth and so on.
So you've prepared kind of a test character here at level 15 in order to go through what a situation might look like. So why don't you walk us through that?
All right. So in this test character, we have a level 15 lizard folk alchemist, and I took it a step further and added a vestigial arm. So now this lizard folk has 3 arms total.
So he's got like a weird arm coming out of him.
A weird arm that can indeed wield a weapon on top of his 2 normal arms. And so I was trying to create one of the most weird kind of situations that you could come across where you have multiple different sources of multiple attacks. So in this case, the level 15 lizard folk alchemist, as a level 15 alchemist, his base attack bonus is 11, which means that his full round attack bonuses allow him to get 3 attacks, one at plus 11, the next one at plus 6, and the next one at plus 1. And those would be basically listed under the class chart for that class, for the alchemist class at a level 15.
So I played another game, and our DM allowed us to take your base attack bonus, however many it was, as a normal attack even if you moved. And that was incorrect. Even when you have plus 11, plus 6, and plus 1 as your base attack bonus unmodified by spells or abilities or feats, you still have to take a full round action or you're only taking 1 attack at plus 11.
Right. So if it's plus 11, plus 6, plus 1, and you doing any movement, then that means that you have a standard action, and as part of a standard action, you can make 1 attack at your highest base attack bonus, which is plus 11.
Okay, but you can still attempt to add even more attacks in a full round attack by modifying it. So what are some of the other modifiers so we can get this extra crazy?
So the first thing you can do to make it extra crazy is cast Haste. Haste is a spell that will give you an additional attack. But in order to use that additional attack, and in fact it specifically says it under the Haste spell, it does require that you take a full round action. It'll give you that additional attack at the highest base attack value. So if we just start with the base attack bonus 11, 6, 1, and we add Haste, that's going to give us another attack, a 4th attack, at the 11. So it's now 11, 11, 6, 1. So that's an additional attack given from a spell. On top of that, another fairly common way to get an additional attack is to attack with 2 weapons. this is particularly popular with certain drow elves who like to two-weapon fight.
Not my character.
No, your character does so much more. So to attack with two weapons, the way two-weapon fighting works is you get, in order to attack with that second weapon, you still have to take a full round action. The cost of attacking with that second weapon is that all your attacks are going to be reduced in their efficacy. So you're going to subtract a penalty from your attack bonus for all your attacks. If you're taking a attack with a second weapon and you do not have any feats, you do not have anything to make it easier or that makes you more proficient with that type of attack, then you're going to take a -4 penalty on all of your normal attacks. But then the advantage is that you get one additional attack on top of that.
So if you're fighting a creature who's particularly easy to hit, then taking the -4 penalty is worthwhile because you get another attack. But if it's very difficult to hit, it's really not that useful because you actually lower your chances to hit overall.
Yeah, you would basically be potentially, depending on the AC of the enemy and your ability to hit the enemy, your expected damage could certainly go down by taking the extra attack because you're less likely to hit with any of your attacks.
Okay, so here you have +7, +7, +2, -3, and then +3 with an additional dagger.
Right.
So I'm assuming that this is haste plus 2 weapon fighting.
This is haste plus 2 weapon fighting.
So that gives you +2 attacks total.
From your base of 3, yes. So now you have a total of 5.
So why is the dagger +3 when your last attack was -3? Why would that fifth additional attack be higher than your fourth attack?
Because the fifth additional attack, the attack that you're making with your offhanded weapon, that attack is going to be at your full attack bonus minus the penalty for fighting with the offhanded weapon. In this case, because the offhanded weapon is a dagger, which is a light weapon, the penalty for attacking with it is -8. The fourth attack, every additional attack, when your base attack bonus gets high enough that you start getting extra attack, each additional attack is a -5. So in this case, you started at +11, your second additional attack was -5, and then your third additional attack, or your third attack was at -10. And so it's because that one's at -10, whereas your dagger is at -8, that difference comes up. Now, notice the -10 would have put you at 1, but don't forget that because you took the attack with the second hand, you're also adding further penalties to all your attacks. So that -10 actually becomes -14 for that fourth attack.
That's a lot of minuses.
Yes.
So you took this one step further. And now you have haste plus the extra limb plus an offhand and a bite.
Right.
So how are you getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks out of this one character whose base attack is only 3?
This is why I chose to make the character a lizard folk. The lizard folk is a special race. It's not a standard race. But as a playable race, it gives you both a natural attack of a bite plus 2 additional natural attacks of the claws. And so I chose this character in order to highlight how natural attacks, which handle very differently from all the rules that we have covered so far, how those interact with the normal rules for multiple attacks.
So if you want to learn about natural attacks, watch our next video.